Imagine it's Monday morning. The wire hit your account on Friday. The champagne glasses are in the sink, the facility keys are no longer in your pocket, and there is absolutely no 7:30 production meeting to run. In business circles, that hollow space has a name: the founder identity crisis in M&A. When your identity has been welded to a factory floor and a customer list for decades, a sudden stop in routine can feel like stepping into thin air. To prevent this, you have to systematically protect your staff, secure your brand, and engineer a new daily purpose. We call this the post-exit legacy blueprint. Accepting a premium bid based purely on price frequently leads to early layoffs and a dismantled brand within months of the close. Mandating buyer fit, on the other hand, keeps your team employed and ensures your transition is clean. A successful exit requires designing the day after the sale with the exact same contractual rigor you used to negotiate the purchase multiple. Step 1 is drafting specific, non-negotiable clauses for your letter of intent, or LOI, the initial document outlining the basic terms of the deal. You use these clauses to legally vet whether a buyer actually fits your culture. This document shows the exact personnel protections you need to demand early on. Require a defined 12-month headcount maintenance period, set up a buyer-funded retention bonus pool, and establish strict severance floors for your non-key staff. Next, safeguard your company name. Negotiate a time-bound brand license that allows the buyer to use your trade name for a specific period, provided they adhere to strict quality controls. If you fund a local robotics team or an annual scholarship, tie those sponsorships directly into the purchase contract. Spell out exactly how they are funded for the first season after the sale. Buyer promises made during diligence often disappear after closing. Your legacy only survives when you embed these commitments directly into the legal paperwork. Now that the contract is set, we move to the operational handoff. Many sellers stay on as consultants, but without strict boundaries, you drift into a frustrating limbo where you are half owner and half employee. This chart breaks a consulting agreement into 3 explicit categories: decisions you influence, areas you advise but don't control, and matters completely off limits. You also need a strict sunset mechanism. Establish a hard end date and cap your commitment at 15 hours per week. To support your former employees, schedule a single weekly 60-minute office hour. This gives them a predictable safety net for questions without you hovering over the new leadership. Deliver a single, well-crafted message at your final staff town hall. Explain your new boundaries, introduce the individuals who own decisions now, and tell employees exactly how to get help going forward. Enforcing these strict boundaries protects your time and energy while giving the buyer the actual authority they paid for. Once you step away from daily operations, a psychological void sets in. If you wait until after the sale to figure out your schedule, you lose your momentum. Your focus is shifting from tracking EBITDA, a measure of your company's operating profitability, to prudent asset preservation. You need a predictable, personal financial cadence to replace your old operating rhythm. This calendar illustrates your new cadence. Block out a recurring monthly CFO meeting with your fiduciary wealth managers, CPAs, and attorneys. Add a short Friday check-in dedicated solely to reviewing your cash flow, upcoming philanthropic donations, and personal commitments. With finances anchored, we apply the 90-day Next Act calendar strategy to replace your old routine with purpose-driven tasks. Create specific Monday anchors. Book a recurring commitment, like a Rotary Club meeting or advisory council, that forces you out of the house early. Maintain your sense of belonging with social anchors. Set up a standing golf game or a weekly breakfast with peers that has absolutely nothing to do with your former business. Finally, run small identity experiments. Instead of committing to a massive new project immediately, test a 30-day volunteer role or teach one guest lecture to see what fits. Pre-booking these anchors while you are still in diligence creates structure and feedback. It prevents the disorientation of that first empty Monday morning. You now have a complete post-exit legacy blueprint in hand. You have drafted legally binding staff and brand protections in your LOI, defined a strict boundary-setting transition agreement, and built a purpose-filled 90-day schedule. Life after selling a business is a deliberate design process. It requires planning your next chapter and protecting your people before the transaction ever closes. If you are 12 to 36 months away from an exit, take this blueprint to your M&A advisor or schedule a confidential exit visioning session today to start engineering your exit.